Right guys, welcome back to this, and it's a sword video and we're looking at Eshin Ryu. But if you're interested in swords, please get yourself a copy of the Book of Bushido. But I'm going to explain what Nick's doing here and what we're talking about, so stay with it. There's lots of interesting things coming up. We're working from this book, and it's based on a Japanese gentleman who's, obviously a top qualified Japanese gentleman, and he is the one talking about Eshin Ryu, and it's from this book. Right, guys, this is the section we're looking at. Please pause it and have a read because it's long. I don't want to bore you to death. But I think we're on the top one. I've asked them to tell me exactly which bit they're doing, and my lads are not telling me directly, but I assume it's the first sentence. So let's have a look at how they've interpreted this first sentence. Unless I've got it wrong because they've not told me right, the buggers. The general premise here is that if you stop to draw your sword and then attack, you are going to miss the person running away. So if somebody's fleeing from you, don't stop. Draw your sword and flee again. Run and draw at the same time. So this is Nick from Richmond Dojo, and with Bob Aldis from, I think it's Bushido Martial Arts, and he's showing here that basically if somebody flees in front of you, you shouldn't stop, draw your sword and carry on. You should just draw and run at the same time. We also find things like this in Mubyoshi Ryu. Next up is Jeff and Megan, and again they're doing the same thing here. Now Jeff's the one who's actually picked this piece out, and you can see he's running after and drawing at the same time. So that's the key to this fundamental. Don't stop, just draw and cut. For giggles, I think we're on this middle sentence, but I've asked the guys to explain to me which bits it is, and they keep bloody not doing it, and they're meant to face the video and say, Anthony, this sentence, and show it to me, but they don't. So here's some public humiliation for them, just so they'll do it for the next bloody time. So I'll have a chat to you at the end though. So I believe this is their downward cut. Let's have a look. We're returning to Nick and his dojo in Richmond, which is Bushido Martial Arts. It's Richmond, USA, if anybody wants to go along and have a go. And let's get him there. Basically, so somebody's going to come around from Jodan, and he's blocking to the side and cutting. Now, if anybody can match this to the sentence, I'm not quite sure, but let's have a relook at the sentence. They are working with this middle sentence, but I'm not sure where the sword clash comes in. Let's have a look again. So basically, it's talking about getting off centre line, and I'm not sure why the clashing swords. If anybody can let me know if it says so in the comments, there is a clash. Remember, guys, we're doing this from opposite sides of the planet at different time zones, and I am building a barn, as you guys well know. So basically, we're trying to piece it all together, and these guys have kindly helped. So I'm going to talk about that at the end, but we are struggling a bit with communication, so hopefully the next one will be a bit better. Back to Jeff. Now, here they don't clash the swords. Now, what do you think, guys? What does Eshin Ryu speak about in the main line? But here from Jodan, oh, no, there is a slight clash there. I misunderstood it. There is a slight clash. But the idea is you come off the centre and come round from the Jodan position. What do you guys think? Is that close enough? We're on number 3, the bottom one here, and this is about moving to the side and pushing their arm or their sword slightly out of the way. So I was going to put Jeff first, but Jeff does a cracker and nearly belts his missus, so we'll watch that in a minute, so stay with me and you'll see. The idea is simultaneous cuts. Now, I'm not sure the text, I'm not sure if they're both saying come from above. We'll have to check that, but I'll recheck the text. But let's watch Nick do it here. Again, we don't have to stick 100% to the form. This is not the main line kata of it. The point here is we're interpreting some oral tradition from the Japanese. So I've had Eshin Ryu people talk to me and say, this is not how we do it in Eshin Ryu. This is not, well, this I've showed you the text on the screen, and that's what it says do. So I don't mind people saying we do it different, we're doing this, but we have to realize part of this, what I'm doing is to show you that traditions change across the world, across time, and across places. So just keep that in mind. But as you've watched with these two, they are coming in and they are hitting the swords out of the way and coming in from the side, which is a nice technique. But let's watch Jeff belt his misses. I'm going to slow this down because this is genius. This is genius. I think he actually clocks her. I'm sure he does. Boo. No, I'm not quite sure what goes on there. Let's watch it again. Megan. I'm sure it's good. The side step. In he goes. Move it out of the way. Brilliant. But I'm not sure if he clocks her there in the jaw. Poor Megan. And then he just goes to kill her again. I bet he got battered later that evening for that, didn't he? Didn't you, Jeff? Now, if you freeze the article, you'll see they are talking about steps and everything and moving. That's naturally really good by Jeff. The step out, the moving the sword with the suka, and then the cut. But I'm a bit lost about which one they're doing. But he's pulling in the concepts. That's what we're looking at. Turns out now I'm editing the video that this is the third one, but it's actually the fourth video, so I'm so confused. I'm going to be having words with Nick and Jeff with this bloody system they're sending me. So let's publicly humiliate them till they bloody well do it. However, Nick does well here. Look at that. That was pretty gorgeous. Now watch again. It's really quite nice, this. So it's about connecting with as you come out from both going to joint, and he pushes it. That's a lovely trick, that. And he does talk about pushing the hands to the side before you cut. I do like this. So, and I don't know the lady's name on the left. I can't remember if I met her in America. I met a lot of people when I went to America. But she's always with Nick helping, so this is really good. So as I said, guys, if you've stayed with me this far, I'm going to give you a personal message at the end so that you can get a bit more idea what we're doing and all that. And but well done to Nick here and the Bushido Dojo at Richmond, USA, for those interested in going along. And let's have a look at how Jeff does this. But one more go with the lady. Here we go. She's going to go. It's coming from Jodan. She's got to stop it. And then what she has to do is use that to push across, yeah? So get this in your head, guys, when you're doing it. It doesn't matter if it's clean or messy. Get that across and push them out of the way. Now let's have a look at Jeff and Megan. Okay, so again, we're looking for both coming up to Jodan. And he stops it, pushes it out of the way and cuts. I know there was a little bit of a blip there, but you get the point. You get the point indeed. Right, guys, basically a bit of a message at the end for you. Now, I'm going to talk about the people who did this, the stuff we're doing, why we're doing it. But just, I want you to remember that I'm doing this to keep our lads busy from over at Eshin Ryu. We're doing some stuff because it's me who actually can't get the attention onto them. So they've got loads of enthusiasm and loads of attention, but I've got to do roofs every day because we're doing the build, like you guys know, and I'm trying to keep up with that. And then I get in and I've got tons of emails. So I basically said to Jeff, I've got about 5 or 6, maybe up to 10 guys who are interested in swordsmanship. We're all doing it in the background, but I have not got the dojo. I've not got the equipment. Marcus is too far away from me, so I'm having these guys in America do it. They're shuffling it together across themselves, across different states, sending it to me and trying to put it together so that you guys get a video extra in the week instead of missing a day. So this is all for you, really. But we've had some comments, yeah, and some of the comments are like obesity kills because there's, you know, bigger people in the videos. I get that. I understand. And people saying, that's not Eshin Ryu, this isn't Eshin Ryu. Well, yeah, I understand that as well. We'll talk about that. But basically, if you're one of the people being negative in the comments, now, being negative doesn't mean you have to agree. I mean being, you know, negative just about the people's looks or about whether you think it's crap or good or whatever. You're not doing it. I think this is my 4th or 5th in one of these videos, and I've asked for volunteers, and I'm like, come on, guys, let's do it. Can you do it? You do it as well. Let's have a go. Nobody. I've had one person put up a closed link video. You know, one of those where you need the link. And then I've asked if I can use that footage, and they've pretty much not come back to me. Now, I have said I don't go back to double comments. So if I comment, if somebody comments and then I comment, I can't go back and see the comment because there's no notification. So they need to email me. I've just said email me. But no, so if you're complaining about these people doing it, remember, they're doing it, you're not. Now, for those who are saying this is not Eshin Ryu, you might, right, it might not be 100% Eshin Ryu, but the point is we're reading from an Eshin Ryu document in Japanese, translated into English by, not my team, by another translator, and it says this is what you do. Now, whether you interpret that in a different way or you've got more information on that, what I have had is people say, well, actually, it's done like this in Eshin Ryu, and you're like, yeah, but the point of these videos is to say, hey, look, it's not always done the same in every branch. So here are the differences. So, and then I've said, what's your answer to that? And people have just said, in my branch, we do it differently. So you're like, okay, well, that's not what they do in the other branch. But if the people are from that branch and actually they don't do it that way in that branch as well, that's fair enough, but we've not had that yet. So guys, I would love it if you guys got involved and did some videos as well as these chaps, because Nick and Jeff are doing the best they can. They're really having a good go, and they've putting out the videos and putting themselves out there to be shot at, really. So make sure before you throw stones that you know you go forward and show what you show. But these guys are doing it for me because in a few years I'm going to have my dojo up and running, we hope, and my barn up and running. I'm going to hire places with Marcus. I'm just working every day on the build at the minute. So for the next couple of years it's going to be a bit like this, a bit all over the place. So, but I am planning next year to go to America and go to Richmond Dojo if possible, if you want to meet me there in America, and I'll tell you more about that in the new year. Remember, get yourself a copy of the Book of Bushido.